Have you ever wondered how the world would look today without the British colonization? Imagine a time late in the 16th century, a period of exploration and ambition. The British, driven by a thirst for new trade routes and a fervent desire to spread Christianity, embarked on a journey that would shape the course of history. The first seeds of British colonization were planted in Virginia and New England, marking the beginning of a sprawling empire that would span continents. As the British set foot on uncharted lands, they brought with them their culture, religion, and economic aspirations. The quest for wealth and resources, coupled with the zeal to propagate their faith, fueled the British colonization efforts. They sought to establish trade routes, exploit resources, and convert indigenous populations to Christianity. During this time, the British Empire was just beginning to take shape, but as it grew, so did its impact. The British Empire was starting to take shape, but what was the impact on the indigenous populations? Picture this: a world untouched by foreign influence, suddenly invaded, and forever changed. The arrival of the British settlers to foreign lands marked an era of unprecedented transformation. Indigenous populations living harmoniously with their environment were suddenly faced with foreign diseases to which they had no immunity. Smallpox, influenza, and measles decimated communities, leaving a void that was filled by the new arrivals. But the impact of British colonization was not limited to physical health. Cultures rich and vibrant were subjected to a process of assimilation. Indigenous languages, traditions, and beliefs were often suppressed, replaced by English language and customs. Land, once held in common, was seized for the establishment of plantations, causing displacement and conflict. The indigenous populations resisted, leading to conflicts that raged for years. The establishment of the plantation system, however, was a game-changer, setting the stage for an economy based on exploitation. The impact of British colonization was profound and lasting, reshaping the world in ways we still feel today. From a few small colonies, the British Empire grew to become the largest empire in history. But how did this happen? The 17th and 18th centuries marked a period of rapid expansion for the British Empire. The Caribbean, Africa, and Asia became focal points of this expansion as Britain established colonies, asserting their influence and control over these regions. Key events played significant roles in this expansion. The 7 Years' War, spanning from 1756 to 1763, was a global conflict that pitted Britain against France, resulting in British dominance in North America and India. Speaking of India, the capture of Bengal in 1757 marked a turning point. The wealth and resources of this region propelled Britain to unprecedented heights, cementing its position as the world's leading colonial power. Indeed, the British Empire was so vast that it was said, "The sun never set on the British Empire." Yet, as we know, all empires must eventually fall. The British Empire, once a global powerhouse, began to crumble in the 20th century. But what led to its decline? The answer lies in a confluence of factors. The rise of nationalism across colonized lands ignited a fire of independence movements. Economic struggles, especially after the two world wars, further weakened the empire's grip on its colonies. The world wars were a monumental drain on British resources, both human and material, leaving the empire in a precarious state. The process of decolonization, which began earnestly after the Second World War, saw many colonies gaining independence, contributing to the empire's decline. In the aftermath, the British Empire was reimagined as the Commonwealth of Nations, an intergovernmental organization of mostly former territories of the empire. The British Empire may have fallen, but its legacy continues to shape the world in myriad ways. From language and legal systems to sports and societal norms, the influence of the British Empire is woven into the fabric of our global society.